Hi everyone, it's Tawney. Today's video is Halloween Looks Part 2 or Episode 2. We are going to be recreating this death zombie makeup look. It is from Lily Love 213 on Instagram. I just saw it when I was scrolling on Pinterest and I was like, this seems like fairly simple enough that I feel like I could recreate it and do a decent good job. I will have part 1 linked in the eye and in the description box down below so you can check that out. Did not go as well as I had hoped, but I do have high hopes for this one, so we are going to try this one out and see what we can do here. When I first saw this, I thought it was Tyra Banks, and it potentially could be. I don't know, but the girl looks like Tyra Banks, and I was like, well, but then the more I was looking at it, I was like, well, I can really add some, like, dimension and stuff with this, so, like, it's really not that bad. Like, I can make it work. And, like, I keep looking at stuff that's, like, really innovative and creative and, like, really well done, and then I remember how I do things, and I was like, maybe I'll try something that's not like that, so that I have a chance at making it look decent, because I always go, like, full force into a look, and then never feel like I recreate it in the right way. So I wanted to try a look that I knew I could do and I knew I'd be able to get down properly. So we are going to go in with, today I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Stick Foundation in the shade F4, and I just primed my face with the NYX Marshmallow Primer, and I'm just going to go ahead in and do the foundation, so in that way we can get a nice little base going for the rest of the look. Okay, so next up for concealer, I'm going to be going in with the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer in the shade 325. I'm also going to go in with this Wet n Wild Fantasy Makers contouring palette. It is the Zombie Apocalypse version, so it has this gray and white. I believe it is powder, but I'm going to go underneath my eyes with this white powder and try to, like, brighten up the under eye just a little bit, even though we're going to be putting color on top of it, like black color. I'm still just going to go in with that and just kind of, like, blend it out a little bit. Okay, now for powder, I'm going to go in with my Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder and put that in my T-zone just to kind of brighten up that area a little bit, because I really want to keep anything that's not my eyes and this part of my face very, like, light. Okay, so now for the contour, we're going to go back in with this palette and we're going to take that gray shade, and I'm really going to use it in my, like, sunken in areas here, and then I think I might go in with a little bit of black just to, like, do a little bit more definition, but I'm going to start off with the gray just to kind of build that deepness, and I think I'm going to pull mine down to kind of, like, give that sunken look to my face, because I don't really have that, because I don't have, like, a super thin gaunt type of look. And I'm not trying to be very precise with this, and I feel like maybe I should, but I'm not being super precise because I know that I will have to end up fixing it and blending it out, so it's not like it's really going to matter all that much. And I'm going to go under the jawline and kind of blend that in a little bit, just so it kind of gives that face that kind of look. You know, the look that we're going for. So I have this ColourPop F30 brush. It looks like this, sort of like rounded, but a little bit like kind of sculpted up a little bit. And I'm just going to kind of like lightly blend this. I want to keep that like harshness to it, but not too much that it's like obvious that I've put a line there. But I like how like here it's blended in. So I'm going to keep doing that to all the areas that I put that gray contour shade. Okay, so I went in with a little bit of that white powder and just tried to make my face look a little bit like ghostly. I'm gonna go in with that gray and just kind of do up around my forehead just to kind of like darken that area and really contour the forehead so it blends in with the contouring on my cheekbones, because it seems like that's what this girl did. So I'm just gonna kind of go in with that too. What I'm really doing is just loosening up all the hair that's in that area, but that's okay. I really just like feel dirty, but like I'm just like putting dirt on my face or something. Okay, so now that we have that all taken care of, she looks like she has a little bit of like blush to her, but I don't really like that. I kind of want to keep this very like pale and ghostly. So I'm going to go and do my brows and set my eyes, like do the primer off camera, and then we'll be back and we will work on the eyes. All right, now that we've got that all taken care of, we're going to go in with the Tawney Beauty palette, the Textured Neutrals 1 palette. And we're going to be using the shades over here under Memory. And I really like this black. So as you'll notice from last year, this is like the black that I use for all of my videos, because to me, it's like the easiest one to work with. It's the easiest one to get a lot of like color payoff. So I'm going to go in with the matte shade and just pack that down all over my lid. I'm going to just pack it on the lid, and then anything else we're going to just blend out, because I don't want to make the black too intense, even though any kind of black is intense. Like that's just what it is, you know? Okay, so then I'm gonna go and blend that outward just to make the edges a little bit less crazy and intense. And it really darkens up that crease there, which is what we want. Where it's not super crazy and packed down, but it's still there. Okay, so I am also going to be using the Blueberry Muffin palette from BH Cosmetics, because it has this gray shade called Treat in it. And I'm going to be using this gray in here called Treat, so I can kind of do the under eye and then blend up into my crease. And I'll be using that as sort of like my transition shade. Hopefully it's a decent shade. I've had very bad luck lately with some eyeshadow palettes just not working the way I wanted them to and really letting me down. So I'm hoping that this palette delivers, which it seems like it is. So that's a good thing. I really like the way that is looking. Okay, so I'm going to go back in to the Tawney palette, to that dark black shade with this smaller brush that I used with the gray. And I'm going to use that to kind of blend the gray outward and just kind of up into the crease area. Her under eyes look pretty deep, so I'm going to be going down that way as well with just whatever's left on the brush. I feel like this look is definitely working out a lot better than the last one. Anybody see the last one? Because that one was definitely, it was definitely something. I'm going to go in with Hot and Fresh from the BH Cosmetics palette to do my brow bone highlight and inner corner highlight. Because we want to be like sexy, cute skeleton, not like, or skeleton zombie. It says death zombie. I feel more like skeleton, but honestly, I don't hate it. So that's a good thing, because that was where our problem was last time. Okay, so I just went in with the under eye with this Milani Supreme Kohl eyeliner, and I just kind of made my under eyes a little bit darker because I felt like my waterline was a little too pale, and it just kind of wasn't like meshing with the look very well. So then for the lips, I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Fantasy Maker Paint Pot in white. That's all it says. Sometimes they come up with fancy names. Like this, this one was Zombie Apocalypse. This is just white. So let's see. I do have a concealer brush, like an under eye concealer blending brush. I'm going to go into this with that. And I'm going to just pack it on the lips. That is working out really well. Very well, actually. So now that we have that done, I'm going to go back in with that gray shade from the BH Cosmetics palette. And I'm going to just run that kind of along my outer edge and kind of just blend out to give my lips a little bit of definition without making them like just pale, like I just ate some chalk. All right, this is the finished look. We'll post a picture for comparison. I feel like there are a couple differences, but honestly, not a whole lot because this look is pretty basic. So I kind of just like went and did a little more with it. I feel like the lips, I couldn't quite get the look that they were going with, but I just don't know what I could have done differently. So my lips kind of just like blend into the face. I think if I were to do some sort of like skeleton look, which is what I feel like this is what my look is doing. I would go in with a whole white base and then start out mapping out with that gray or a black shade, because I feel like this is like a half zombie, half skeletal look, and I'm not quite like understanding the differences. So maybe that's why my like thinking wasn't quite there. But I really tried to like brighten up all the areas that like didn't have the darkness to it, so then that way it would like really amplify that darkness. And I really like the way this worked out on my cheekbones, because I feel like it really gave that gaunt look from, you know, straight ahead, as well as the eyes. I feel like worked out really well. For some reason they're sort of like bloodshot looking, so it's kind of like scary zombie looking. I think it's just from doing the eyeliner, because it was like irritating my eyes a good bit. But I hope you guys like this video. This one definitely went a lot better than the first one, so I'd say this is definitely a success. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ring that notification bell down below so you get notified when I upload the episode number 3, which I don't have it planned yet, but we're gonna figure it out. Stay tuned for that one, guys, and I'll see you then. Bye.